So my friends, I want to show you how I got to the $3,000 mark this week. And for me, the day ended on September the 9th, yesterday, Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Could have gone longer, but I was tired, had a long week. And the numbers that I hit were $3,373.23. So I heard that people were talking about a 2K club or the $2,000 club, whatever, and I thought, you know what, there was some challenge. Some guy emailed me and said, hey, there's a challenge going on, and I went for it, right? And I break down the numbers for you, and I then also show you proof of the screenshots, etc., with the Los Angeles Times dated how I got there, right? So firstly, my fleet rentals, where I rent out cars to drivers, are not included in these numbers, right? That wouldn't be fair. Referrals that I have on a separate code, right? And I'll show you. I have two codes underneath this video. Both are active despite what one YouTuber thinks, right? To set the record straight. We don't believe in fake news, right? Both my Uber accounts are active. My fleet account is active, my Lyft accounts are active, and that's the only way I got here, right? So with Uber, it was $2,030.91. I show you that just now. With Lyft, it was $652.32. And then, ladies and gentlemen, with the TCP, with the limo license added, and these two components where I put here private, $455, and Venmo, because I was paid by drivers privately, just wanted to disclose those numbers well, $235. If I add those up, you know, that's $680, that's $690. If you put it all in perspective, right, this is about, if you add all the numbers up and you get to 3,373, you could say I did about 1/5 of my earnings, ladies and gentlemen, 1/5 of the earnings through Lyft. If I add these privates up, right, it also equates to 1/5 of my earnings, so that's 2/5 of the earnings, and the other 3/5 are right over here. The higher percentage was made in Uber. Now that, I just want to let you know, is not a typical week, right, to hit the $3,000 numbers. No, I don't like to do that. I don't like breaking my back and putting in those hours. But it was a challenge, and I love a challenge once in a while. And I said, you know what, go for it, right? So there it is, and I'm going to break it down. Then I'm going to break down the numbers in the screenshots just now. But I do want to explain these two numbers, right? They would not have been achieved unless I had my private limo license, which you can also go out and get. I have tons of videos showing you. Just made one right there that you need certain documentation in place to play in this sand pit over here, right? And the privates, by the way, in my normal week, they will usually make up 50 to 70% of my trips. But this particular week, I really had very, very few bookings, okay? And when I get paid through the private trips, it's usually people that have cash in their wallet. They'll pay you afterwards, and they'll pay you a handsome tip for the SUV or Lux trip, right? Or they will say, hey, we'll pay you through Venmo. So usually my Venmo and my cash numbers are usually far, far higher, right? But because I looked at this week, you know, I looked at that week, I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd till the 9th or the 10th. I looked at the numbers the previous week, and I said to myself, hey, I don't have many private trips this week. I generally never want to fall below the $2,000 mark each week. So, and there's a challenge going on, let me hit it hard, and that's how I got there. I've hit the 3K numbers several times in the year, right? I have hit the 4K numbers a few times in the year. I almost once hit the 5K number in 1 week, and that was the Coachella week. It was insane, and that was, again, a combination of Uber, Lyft, and privates, and people just throwing money at you because they wanted to get out of the stadium. They wanted to get away from Indio, go to the next private party at 2, 3 a.m. and people were just throwing money at you. So that was the biggest week I've ever had. It was about close on to $4,900, right, with tips and all, right? But to show you this is achievable, you know, if you're putting in these type of hours, I don't suggest breaking your back and going over the 45, 50 hour mark. Really don't. That to me is not a lifestyle, right? You're spending most of your time in your car, sleeping in your car. That's not a lifestyle, right? You got to stay fit, eat healthy, have time for your family, time for your private stuff, your travels, etc. So please don't break your back. And the other thing I can tell you, that the numbers are just absolutely not achievable in X, right? These numbers, the $2,000 numbers are achievable in XL and Lyft Plus if you put in big hours, and I'm talking like 55 hours plus, right? You can hit the two. If you put insane amount of hours, 70, 80 hours in Excel, I don't know if you can hit the threes, but I'm sure you can hit the middle twos, $2,500 mark, right? But if you're dealing in the Lux, the SUV, the black category, maybe XL thrown in the mix, that's, you know, those are the platforms I drive on, then once in a while you can hit these numbers. Takes a little bit of luck and truly knowing when and where to drive, and that's what I do to position myself to get those numbers. Now I want to break it down for you. So to break the numbers down for you, right, and I have several screenshots here. Firstly, I got a copy of, you can check it, the Sunday Times, September the 9th. That was yesterday, right? I'm making the video today on Monday the 10th, but basically my week ended at 5 p.m. or 10 past 5 on September the 9th. Drove that whole week, right? On Uber, the earnings September 3 to 10, $2,000, $2,030.91. That's Uber. On Lyft, $652.32. Right, and I think I showed you in the previous screen the total was $3,373.23. So this happened to be 1/5 of the earnings, 3/5 of the earnings, and then the private trips, my friends. What I do is I have a log. Where's my cash payments, right? The dates, and then I've crossed out the names of the clients that I drive. That's just private. As you can see, I think almost every single one of these were to LAX, to the airport, except for one that was a concert at the Hollywood Bowl on the Friday. Usually my log of private trips is 3-4 times as long. I had a very weak week as far as private trips. Then some private people will pay through Venmo, and I also put this in the private category, so that these numbers and these numbers also make up 1/5 of my earnings. In fact, that week I think it was 690. I broke it down for you early on. Here's the numbers: 150, 85, that's 235. Driving, this person put a little car and an airport icon there. So this is generally how I get paid on privates: Venmo and cash. That's it. Anybody wanting to explore those, the limo category, my friend down in San Diego, fantastic guy that I met with. He does Uber, Lyft, and privates, right? He follows the same formula, and he does well. It's a great guy. I often give him shout outs. So that's how I broke it down for you, right? The total came in on 0909 yesterday. And again, recap: Uber, Lyft, private, right? Save up, do me a huge favor. Save up. If you have an XL vehicle or a select vehicle or an SUV vehicle or a black vehicle or a Lux vehicle, definitely save up and get your limo license, your charter license, okay? If you want to know how to grow your limo business, your own limo business, your own clients, I'll show you the easiest way with coupons, right? Where you market into zip codes. Call me up. I'd love to share. market into my own area if you want to, I don't care. But that's the way I built up the bulk of my business, right? This was a challenge. Somebody said a 2K challenge. I'm raising the bar to 3K, right? So anybody is making 3K. And I know there's a lot of people who make 3K, right? And it's probably only possible in markets like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. I would also say it's doable in Miami and a couple of the other big cities. Maybe even in Houston, Texas, if you're riding the right areas and the right nights. But it's doable. Don't think it's doable in X, but there's a lot to be done in X. There's a lot of ways you can increase your earnings in X, and there's a lot of ways that you can then go from X to XL to any other category you wish, or limo, right? So please, I welcome the questions. I look forward to them. You know, share some of your stories, and let's raise the bar, right? And do yourself a favor. Save up $800 to maybe $1,500 so that you can get all the paperwork and the licensing so you can play in the sand pit here, because that's when I think it gets really, really exciting. You've already got the car, or you have the rental car. Now look at the various ways to increase your earnings. Have a great day. Drive safe.